Every year, thousands of aircraft take off and land without incident. But hidden in the skies is a danger that no technology has yet defeated: birds. For pilots, a single strike can mean the difference between the safe landing and disaster. This commercial plane was all ready for landing, but this accident happened just a few meters away from the runway. A bird came on the cockpit screen. Luckily, the screen did not break and the plane was landed safely. But not all planes are as lucky as this. Nazarene U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was all ready for takeoff at New York Airport. The day was the 15th of January 2009, and it was 3:25 in the afternoon. 1 minute later, the plane took off successfully, and as per routine, the pilot also sent the news of takeoff to the control tower. This plane was an Airbus A320 in which 150 passengers and 5 crew members were present. For the next 2 minutes, the plane kept gaining altitude continuously, but at a height of 2,818 feet. The pilot saw a very large flock of Canada geese coming his way. There was very little time, and it was not possible to turn the plane under any circumstances. But in the case of Flight 1549, birds had got into both the engines of the plane, and unfortunately, despite so much technology, airports around the world have not been able to find any concrete solution to this problem yet. After all, this was a whole flock of birds. Even a small bird can cause a lot of damage to the entire plane. Not only birds, but when planes are at the airport, many accidents have been reported so far during loading and unloading in which the jet engine pulls anything close to it. Let us tell you here that before the jet engine, thrust was generated on planes by installing propellers on piston engines. One problem with these normal engines was that they were not able to generate so much thrust. Obviously, due to low thrust, the speed of the plane was also low, and it could not fly at high altitude. The world's first jet engine was made in 1930. Through this technology, a turbine draws in air, compresses it, and then that compressed air is mixed with fuel and burnt. After burning, the pressure inside the engine increases to a great extent, which pushes the aircraft forward rapidly. Jet engines weigh less than normal engines. They are also more fuel efficient. Their thrust is also more, and their noise is also much less than that of piston engines. For example, if we talk about the engine of Airbus A320, then a single engine sucks 1,250 kilograms of air inside it in 1 second. This air enters from the front side of the engine. 1,250 kilograms means that if the engine is running, then it can easily pull anything that comes in front of it, which can be any luggage, any tree, any crew member, or even a small vehicle. In this video, you can see that an E-170 aircraft is standing in the parking and its engine is running. A cone accidentally gets sucked into the engine by the crew member present in the tunnel, and immediately a fireball comes out from the other side. Now, we talked about the pressure of the air going inside the jet engine. The pressure that comes out from the backside of the engine is called thrust. It is much more than the pressure entering the engine, about 100 times more. The thrust coming out of the engine of Airbus A320 produces a thrust of 27,000 grams. And if we talk about both the engines together, then this thrust becomes 254,000 kilograms. This is the same thrust as the weight of an average train engine. That means it would not be wrong to say that if a train engine is placed behind the plane during takeoff, then it can easily overturn. You can guess this from this video in which this Boeing 777 is standing for takeoff, and it overturned the entire truck standing far behind it. Apart from this, we have seen many such videos in which tourists fly and fall on the beach near St. Martin Airport due to jet engine thrust, in which a woman has also died so far. By watching these videos, we must have got a good idea of the thrust of the jet engine. To avoid these accidents, the airport authorities have made many SOPs as to when one can come in front of the plane's engine and how much distance can be maintained. The biggest risk occurs during baggage loading, because at that time the engine of the plane is also on, and luggage loading also takes place from its front side. To avoid this danger, luggage is now loaded through automatic conveyor belts at modern airports. Apart from this, a tunnel is often installed at the time of boarding, which is directly attached to the door of the plane. Its purpose is not to provide luxury to the passengers, but it is installed to avoid accidents. Airport authorities have a strict SOP that there should be no object in front of the engine during plane boarding, and the engine should be turned on only when all the staff has finished their work and moved aside. This mark on the turbine of the plane engine is also put for this reason, so that we can easily see that the turbine is rotating during rotation. This is the way to avoid losses due to human error. But what about the birds? They are mindless and speechless. According to an estimate, every year the aviation industry suffers a loss of $120 crore only because of birds. Aviation engineers and airport authorities have been looking for a solution to this problem for the last several decades, but till now, they have failed. But it is not that no effort is being made to keep the birds away from the plane. This is the reason why we do not see trees in the airport compound, especially around the runway, because those are the trees on which the birds come and sit or make their nests. Airports are perhaps the only place where attempts are made to chase away birds on a mass level. Sometimes they are frightened by firing gunshots. Sometimes statues are erected, or sounds of predatory animals are played on loudspeakers. At many airports, hunting dogs and hawks are kept so that they do not let any bird enter the compound. Along with this, no such thing left at the airport that attracts birds like open ponds from where birds can drink water. Even robotic falcons are being made using artificial intelligence, which will keep other birds away from the airport. Now here, you must be thinking that instead of getting so worried, why don't we put a protective net on the engine of the plane itself? This will not only stop birds, but also any other thing from entering the engine. Actually, these jet engines suck in so much air that if a mesh or net is placed in front of them, then the airflow will be disturbed to a great extent. Apart from that, the bird will certainly not be able to go inside the engine, but due to the pull of the air, it will remain stuck to this net, which will further disturb the airflow. Most birds collide with the plane only during takeoff and landing because they cannot fly at high altitudes. But according to reports, falcons have also been seen at a height of 15,000 feet, and a type of duck surprisingly rises to a height of 23,000 feet during migration. These are the birds for which nothing special has been done so far to keep them away from the plane. From gunfire and hawks to robotic falcons and new technologies, the battle to protect planes from birds continues. Yet even today, this centuries-old threat remains unsolved. In the endless contest between nature and machine, the skies themselves remain the ultimate challenge.